Good morning, just after 6 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 1017 FM and 710 Keel. Down there, the purple and gold-clad McCarty has local news up next.
3 more charges filed against a former school teacher in our area. Police need your help finding a bank robber. That's coming up. And more lawsuits against the Shreveport Aquarium.
That's what Matt was talking about, the aquarium news we will discuss. Actually, is there really anything more to talk about today than LSU, Alabama, and the mayor's race?
That's about it.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on Keel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
SPD on the hunt for a bank robber. We get more on that from Matt Parker.
Shreveport police need help tracking down an alleged bank robber. A.C. Elliott Flusay Sr. is accused of robbing the Chase Bank on Free State Boulevard around 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Flusay allegedly walked into the bank, demanded money from the clerk, and fled the scene on foot. You can see photos of Flusay at KeelNews.com. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to call Caddo Crime Stoppers at 673-7373. From 1017 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
3 more child sex charges filed against Aubrey Norcross, a teacher at Benton Elementary School. Norcross is now being charged with 3 more counts of molesting a juvenile and faces 11 separate charges. Sheriff Julian Whittington says it's tough for these boys and girls to tell their stories, but he's glad they're coming forward so healing can begin. 2 companies are suing the Shreveport Aquarium, claiming they have yet to be paid for their work on the project. Weiland Davco and Rimmer Electric have both filed separate suits against Planet Aqua. Several companies placed liens against the aquarium last year after failing to be paid. The lawsuits claim the aquarium owes more than $250,000 in unpaid construction bills. A woman pleads guilty to murder. Kiana Williams pled guilty to manslaughter for her role in killing 82-year-old Kathleen Cates. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Her accomplice in the crime, Roy Narcisse, sentenced to life in prison last week after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. The duo killed Cates after doing yard work at her home. Multiple agencies investigating the discovery of a skull in DeSoto Parish. The human remains were found in a pasture on Highway 512 East in Benson. Members of the DeSoto Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and the Coroner's Office are searching the area for any additional human bones. The LSU Faces Lab is working with the team to determine the identity of the deceased. The hottest ticket in town is going fast as the Bama-LSU game is officially sold out, with fans' only way of getting into the stadium now on the secondary market, buying tickets offline. LSU's official ticket reselling partner is StubHub. Ticket manager Brian Broussard says if you buy through StubHub and there's an issue, LSU will find a fix for you.
There would be an issue. We will rectify that problem versus any other provider on the secondary marketplaces.
The game kicks off 7 o'clock Saturday night. The number of military troops being deployed to the U.S.-Mexican border has been changing at a dizzying pace as President Trump draws a hard line on immigration in the lead-up to the midterm elections. Trump said Wednesday the number of troops could go as high as 15,000. A jury in Texas has awarded $68,000 in damages to the family of a 12-year-old girl who suffered rope burns to her neck during a school field trip. The girl claimed classmates tied a rope around her neck and pulled her to the ground. She was one of only 2 black students at the Waco school. The girl had been suing for $12 million. I'm Erin McCarty on 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
9 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic for Thursday. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Old Minden Road in Bossier City due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Don't plead guilty, plead insanity. I tell you what, we'll start the show. You tell me your story, why you're a horrible person.
Okay.
And then, no matter how bad it is for you,
You can top it. Good.
I can tell you a story about something that happened to me yesterday that will give you such joy that you will, you literally will be beaming.
I'm excited.
Beaming.
I'm excited.
Like a star through the Hubble telescope.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, first off, a shout out to the family that lives on Piermont. Is it Fern? Piermont and
right
Fern.
there with
they
all the,
decorate their yard up
every year.
Passed by there last night,
Yeah.
and there were kids just swarming around trick or treating.
I think that's Southfield at that point, but I know exactly where.
Yeah,
you mean.
it is absolutely. It's absolutely gorgeous.
In fact,
They
my
do
friend
such
Sean
a,
used to live right over there.
They do such a great job. But putting that aside, I kind of committed a crime last night, and I really want to confess.
Excuse me. Wait.
And make amends.
Wait. I'm not sure. The Justice Reinvestment Act, in the eyes of some, is quite lax.
Yeah.
But there is nothing about the Justice Reinvestment Act that says that someone who has committed a crime and admits to said crime gets off stark free by talking about it on the radio.
Well, I do want to make amends and, pay recompense, whatever I need to do.
Is this a felony?
No, it's not a felony.
Misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor. Just a misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor.
So my son and I go out. I'm not even going to name the location. We go out to a very classy buffet last night, okay? And very classy.
One of the boats?
It was one of the boats, yeah.
Gotcha.
One of the nice ones. And we get, we eat our fill and we're chowing down. And he got a T-bone steak, one of his main courses. I had a couple of ribs.
Well, they got steak on the buffet. I
Yeah,
go to this place.
It's nice. It's really nice. And we look at our plates, and we're thinking about going back for another plate.
Is this a comp, by the way? It was a comp.
Yeah, it was a comp. Yeah,
okay, good.
And because I'm a high roller like that, and so we're looking, and I'm looking at that T-bone on his plate, and then I'm looking at the rib bones on my plate.
Did you get a doggy bag?
No, it's worse.
What?
It's worse.
You put food in your purse.
Will you let me tell the story and shut the hell up?
Oh, no.
So I have a big purse, as you know. I have a big purse.
Oh, yeah, for smuggling
Yeah.
food and small children into the movies.
So I go over I look at my son, and I said, golly, Bo would love that T-bone. Bo is our dog.
How much does this dog weigh, by the way?
120, 125, 180, I'm not sure.
350. You know, what's a few pounds?
Lineman for the Packers.
He's closing in. Yeah, he's closing in on
They
that
bought a
300.
weight room for the dog.
He's a big boy, okay? He loves bones. He just worships. He doesn't just gnaw on them. He eats them and swallows them, okay? So I'm looking at the T-bone, and it's a big one.
This is an awesome story.
I know you
Even
love
if
it.
it stops now.
And it gets worse. And I'm looking at my bones from my what do you call them?
The ribs.
The ribs. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. I lost the word.
That's all right.
And I'm thinking, man, it had a lot of good juicy stuff on it still, and I thought he will love those. So I go over to the waitress and I say, and of course this is a classy joint, and you have the cloth napkins. And I said, do you have some paper napkins? I'm thinking, paper napkins over by the shrimp maybe or something, so I could wrap up the bones in the paper napkins.
Excuse me. You okay over there, buddy?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'll wrap them up in the paper napkins, put them down in a little pocket inside my purse, and take him to Bo. He'll be a happy pup.
A 240-pound dog.
And she goes, no, ma'am, we don't have any paper napkins. She said, we have cloth napkins. I can get you some extra. I went, okay, that'll be good. So, sitting at the table, we put the bones on one plate. I spread out one of their cloth napkins, looking around, looking behind me. I'm like, is anybody watching? Put the T-bone on the napkin, look around, nobody's watching. Then I grab the rib bones, plop them on the napkin. And my son is like, oh, dear God, I can't take this woman anywhere. And then I fold the napkin over, kind of let it sit on the table like nonchalant for a little while and looking around. Nobody's looking. Get my purse up on my lap. Then I kind of scoot the napkin into my purse while nobody's looking. Of course, I scoot it into my purse. Then I look around. My son goes, Mother, the one thing you need to stop doing is looking around at everybody to see if they're watching you. Would you please stop?
So basically you stole...
I stole a napkin from one of the local casinos, a nice cloth napkin.
It's not like you walked out of there with chips, for heaven's
Yeah,
sake.
no, I didn't steal. I mean, it's not a felony.
No.
But, I mean, if police want to come and handcuff me today and haul me down...
I hate it when she offers...
I'm admitting to committing a crime.
Let me call Sheriff Steve up real quick.
My problem is, do I just run the napkin through the valet one day and go, here, I stole this, and drive off?
I found this in the parking lot.
Yeah, I found this in the park. So, but got home, my 800-pound dog just chowed down, and he loved every minute of the bones. But I'm confessing, I'm sorry.
Throwing yourself on the mercy of the court.
Of the buffet.
Now, as awful a human being as you are, and as horrible,
bad.
I can make you feel better when I tell you what happened to me yesterday.
Good.
So my brother Bill and I, we go to Maryland's for lunch yesterday.
Oh, I can give the napkin back to your brother.
And was that where it was? Absolutely. Not to give it away, but it has the monogrammed E in the corner.
Yeah, it does.
So my brother Bill and I, we go to Maryland's yesterday for lunch.
Okay.
And a young lady named Elise is working behind the counter, and I've known her for a while, and we have a casual relationship. I mean, we're friends. We just, just chat,
Sure,
etc. Let me back up a second. Have you ever in the course of your day run into somebody you know? And you know them kind of well enough where, because here in the early 21st century, we don't just shake hands or we hug now.
Ooh.
So have you ever run into anybody in the course of your day where, I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, I hug,
it's a man or a woman, and you give them a hug, and then you get back in your car or where you're going, and you go, and they had on like too much perfume.
Oh, yeah.
Or cologne.
Oh, yeah.
And it's on you.
Oh, man.
And it's really like awful. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Okay, so yesterday, I have to be careful how I tell this.
I know. Be careful.
I ran into someone I hadn't seen in a while, and there was a little hug involved, and then I got to the car, and it's really... You know that old, like, Nani perfume that's all like, like part disinfectant, part powder?
Oh, absolutely,
It's just, so it's driving me and you can't find the spot on your clothes where it is.
Yeah.
Right? So I get over to Maryland's, and I run into my brother Bill. We go inside, and I'm like, oh, man, this is, can you smell that? He goes, no. I said, it's making me crazy, which, in fact, it was.
Yeah.
And we get up to the front of the line. And Elise is there at the counter, and she says, "You okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And I told her the story. Have you ever hugged anybody? And she says, "Yeah." And she mentioned a couple of situations where guys had on too much cologne. And I'm saying, "Well, I hugged this. Yeah, what?" And when I lifted up the collar on my jacket, the lapel on my jacket, I found the spot.
Oh, man.
And at that point, my brother Bill says to me, and Elise, he says, "Tell her the truth. You just don't want anybody to know you're sleeping with an 80-year-old.
I love Bill.
At which point Elise says, "Who knew Robert dates younger women?"
Oh, wow.
I
Go,
like this
Elise.
girl already.
19 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Old Minden Road in Bossier City due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, time for sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher, the Coach O Show last night on KWKH. Ed Orgeron let it out that if the coin toss ends up with their decision to receive or kick, Tigers are going to take the ball Saturday against top-ranked Alabama. The high school football week kicks off with 3 games locally tonight. Bossier visits Northwood, Woodlawn entertains Huntington at Independence Stadium, and North Caddo welcomes Calvary to Vivian. The NFL week gets off with a really ugly matchup. 49ers and Raiders in what could end up being a battle for who gets the first draft pick in 2019. In the NBA last night, former Louisiana Tech legend Paul Millsap had a putback with 0.1 seconds remaining in overtime to lift Denver past Chicago 108-107. Millsap finished with 19 points. The Nuggets are 6-1. Steph Curry had 37 points, shooting 7 of 11 from beyond the arc in a 131-121 win over the Pelicans. Anthony Davis returned to the floor for New Orleans after missing 2 games with an elbow injury. He was a little rusty, though. Hit only 6 out of 16 shots, finished with 17 points and 12 boards in the loss. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster button.
Boy, does it work well.
If you missed that yesterday, we will replay.
Can we redo it?
No.
Can we do it again?
No.
I had so much fun.
You don't have any tickets to give away.
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Let's save those for next week.
Okay.
Fair runs for a while.
Yeah, got another week or so.
But if you missed Erin swearing on the radio yesterday, we tested the Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster button.
Because I was swearing like a sailor.
By all accounts, the test went well.
Yeah.
No one other than those. You see, when we run the Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster button, it's a 7-second delay that affects only the AM and FM transmitters, i.e. the terrestrial transmitters, those that come under the authority of the FCC. The stream, the digital feed, if you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube or Facebook, anything that is not over the airwaves, as it were, the FCC doesn't control, so we don't have to delay that. So you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
So we kind of tested the Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster button yesterday, and it works well, and we will review and, in fact, replay.
Oh, I can't wait.
The segment, the audio segment of Erin's swearing a little after 7 o'clock.
Sailor girl.
A little after 7:30. A lot. What was the gambling bromide, truism, factoid, as Matt likes to say?
You said
Nah, a local
a gambling aficionado.
professional, semi-professional gambler told me this on Tuesday night.
Always take the points and the home team.
If the home team is an underdog, take the points. Because usually they the visiting team, even if they win, won't cover.
So take LSU and 14.
14 and a half, 14, whatever it happens to
Yeah.
be. As many as you can get.
Oh, I would take that bet. Easy.
Did you really?
Easy.
Everybody seems to think, all the experts. What do you think the key to the game is? Because I heard something on ESPN last night that to me made a hell of a lot of sense. What do you think? Guy says last night, the first thing LSU has to do on Saturday, what do you think it is?
It's containing TT because I really think that's a key. I really think you got to keep him in the pocket.
Now, how do you do that, though?
Your defense is going to really have
Let
to
me tell
step
you what
up.
he said. He said the first thing LSU has to do is, he said the very first thing, I'm being legit, first thing LSU has to do is win the toss. Because normally, he says, if you win the toss, you defer to get the ball at the beginning of the second half.
Sure.
He said LSU has to win the toss, take the ball, and run time off the clock.
Really?
He said the key to the game is that LSU has to run the ball, keep the scoring as low as possible, and stay in the game.
That's a pretty good theory.
That Alabama's not used to, that LSU has to run the ball. He said LSU cannot possibly win a shootout with Alabama.
And Alabama is used to scoring on their opening drive. I think in almost every game they run it right down the field and put the ball in the end zone. And if you have the ball, they can't do that.
Exactly. LSU, he said, the most important thing for them to do is run time off the clock.
I'm going to tell you.
He said, in fact, the one thing you don't want to see in this game is Joe Burrow having to throw a lot. Not that Joe Burrow can't throw, and at times competently, but the point he made was LSU has to stay in the game. The way they stay in the game is to keep Alabama's offense off the field.
One prediction.
And keep the score down.
One prediction I'm making today. You heard it today. This will be Tua's first interception of the year. LSU is going to pick him off Saturday night at
Parkey,
one point.
you look like you had a point to make.
Well, I was just going to say, I agree with the ESPN guy. That's basically the same formula they had against Auburn. You throw when you had to. You keep the game close. You keep jabbing until you can hit the kill shot.
What time is the game starts?
7 p.m. kickoff.
Saturday night. Is it
CBS.
Is it CBS?
CBS game.
Okay. Pre-game starts at 11 o'clock Saturday morning. In fact,
game day is going to be there at 8 a.m.
I got news for you. ESPN Radio is already there this week.
Oh, absolutely.
They are there doing their morning shows and everything.
The trucks
from
are there.
Baton
It is.
Yeah.
It is going to be pandemonium. The tickets, it's sold out. You cannot get tickets anywhere.
And you had a line on a couple and turned them down because you couldn't make it. Something came up, you couldn't make it.
And I really have to shout out all the state lawmakers who went to bat for me. I got text last night from Larry Bagley in Logansport. He said, I'm hunting. I'm still hunting for you. And Cedric Lover ended up finding me a pair, and I can't thank him enough. And
you can't use them.
Something has come up, and I cannot go.
20. Yeah, you'll be in jail for napkin theft. 29 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Erin has local news up next. Right now, traffic and Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Olmsted Road in Bossier City due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Two companies are suing the Shreveport Aquarium, claiming they have yet to be paid for their work on the project, while Davco and Rimmer Electric have both filed separate suits against Planet Aqua. Several companies placed liens against the aquarium last year after failing to be paid. The suits say the aquarium owes more than $250,000 in unpaid construction bills. Several agencies investigating the discovery of a skull in DeSoto Parish. The remains were found in a pasture on Highway 512 east in Benson. Members of the DeSoto Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and Coroner's Office are searching for any additional human bones. The LSU Faces Lab is working with the team to determine the identity of the deceased. Shreveport police need your help tracking down an alleged bank robber. A.C. Elliott Flusis Sr. is accused of robbing the bank on Free State Boulevard around 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Flusis allegedly walked into the bank demanding money from the clerk and fled the scene on foot. You can see photos of him at KeelNews.com. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to call Caddo Crime Stoppers at 673-7373. More charges filed against a Bossier teacher. Matt Parker has that.
3 more child sex charges have been filed against Aubrey Norcross, a teacher at Benton Elementary School. Norcross is now being charged with 3 more counts of molestation of a juvenile and faces 11 separate charges. Sheriff Julian Whittington says that it's tough for these boys and girls to tell their story, but he's glad they are coming forward so their healing can begin. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
A woman pleads guilty to murder. Kiana Williams pleads guilty to manslaughter for her role in killing 82-year-old Kathleen Cates. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Her accomplice in the crime, Roy Narcisse, sentenced to life in prison last week after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. The duo killed Cates after doing yard work at her home. With less than a week until the midterms, President Trump's in Florida campaigning for Republicans. The president said he will not let anyone from the caravan into our country.
But we're getting prepared for the caravan, folks. You don't have to worry about that. Getting prepared for the caravan. And they got a lot of rough people in those caravans. They are not angels. They are not.
Thousands of migrants are making their way to the U.S. Many Democrats have accused the president of fear-mongering about the caravan. For $800,000, you could get a 5-bedroom, 7-bath home in a gated community outside Detroit. Bonus, Aretha Franklin used to own it. Franklin's 4,100-square-foot brick colonial home in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, has been listed for sale. It includes a 3-car garage, a sauna, his and hers walk-in closets, and an indoor bridge that overlooks the foyer. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. See, here's how this works. If I let the bumper music go long enough and it's one of her favorites, then she notices after about 10 seconds. If I talk early in the bumper, she just starts listening.
Yeah.
And doesn't pay any attention to the bumper music.
What the hell were you doing? It looked like you were backing in a truck.
It was dancing. It was dancing. I got a caution, by the way, about the LSU-Alabama game. Real quick, let me run this through.
Caution?
Yeah. Because we know a lot of people who take pictures of their tickets and post them online. You know, hey, I have these tickets for sale. Even our folks down there in our office, they'll put pictures of their tickets online. They're saying now that all it takes is a clean shot, a clean photo of your barcode, and someone can actually steal access to your game, to the stadium, to your tickets.
How?
And use them. They can take your barcode. If you put a picture of your tickets online somewhere,
right,
they can use that barcode and create their own ticket with your barcode. And if they beat you to the game, your ticket will say it's void.
If I mean, you could literally reproduce, if you reproduce the barcode correctly, the rest of the ticket could be in crayon or smeared ink because they scan the barcode just like at the grocery store.
So they're saying do not post pictures of your tickets that show the barcode.
Seriously?
Absolutely. Leave the barcode off of all social media posts of tickets, etc.
It's amazing to me that people don't know that already.
I had no clue.
How long have people been like dummying up tickets and selling them illegally for years?
They say that this is going to be the biggest game for scammers, and a lot of it's going to be online. You might buy tickets from a site you think's reputable, but it's not, and you're going to get to LSU.
Now, the game
and your
is an
ticket will be
official sellout, right?
It is a sellout. Now, StubHub is the official ticket cooperative with LSU.
Right.
So if your StubHub ticket, something's wrong with it, LSU makes it right.
Well, to combat, what you're talking about with ticket theft and
criminal
activities, a lot of places, a lot of professional teams are moving to strictly digital tickets.
Ooh.
Like if you go to a Mavericks or Dallas Stars game at the American Airlines Center, you have to pick up your tickets at will call, or you have a digital ticket that's on your phone.
Wow.
So people can't sell it and steal it. And if you want to resell it, you use their official vendor, and it gets transferred online without ever getting published.
Because how many people do we see post pictures of their tickets?
About 50 a day.
Yeah.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, 639. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
Yeah, that's my name.
Huh?
That's my name. Thanks.
I still didn't hear you.
That's my name.
Oh, okay.
Thought you forgot for a minute.
It tends to slip my mind. I was going to say Erin McCarty, Second Amendment proponent. More on that on the way. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Old Minden Road in Bossier City due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app, a free download, sans delay. Free download presented by Office Furniture Source.
Let me read real quick. Let me read the billboard that's up in Baton Rouge right now. Tiger fans, before Tua drops half a Benjamin in Death Valley, be sure to donate half a Benjamin to hurricane relief. Roll Tide. www.redcross.org. Billboards up
Can you imagine a scenario where Alabama scores 50 points?
No. Alabama's not going to score 50 on LSU. That is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
That wasn't me made that noise.
That was me.
Hush up over there.
Hey, I'm just saying, without Devin White, if you don't run the clock, slow Alabama down, and control the tempo, it's very possible that I love Greedy Williams and the defensive backfield, but it's possible that Alabama burns them and burns them hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Coach O has told all his players, I'm quoting here, stay off that damn Twitter machine.
That Twitter machine?
Yeah, stay off that damn Twitter machine.
Yeah.
That's what he told them. Don't want them tweeting or doing any of that stuff. Stay quiet. Let's show them on the field.
What's up with the aquarium?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Another lawsuit. And
one or two?
Two more companies filing suit against the aquarium.
Is this like a unified lawsuit? Is this one lawsuit, two separate suits?
Separate lawsuits.
Okay.
It's the Weiland Davco Group and Rimmer Electric.
Now, Weiland is the construction company, the contractor that had sort of tried to obtain basically they said for a long time that they were behind in payments, i.e. Planet Aqua, right?
Right. They're suing Planet Aqua. There are already liens against the aquarium that were filed last year after several companies didn't get paid. The lawsuits claim the aquarium owes more than $250,000 in unpaid construction bills. $250,000. It's time to pay up.
I don't know. Have you been yet?
No. I hate even saying that.
Why?
Because I should have been. I should have gone.
Well, in your defense, they don't exactly make it convenient.
How do you mean?
Well, unless they've changed things since they opened, you used to have to buy tickets for a certain little time frame. You couldn't just show up, go in, and hang out. You had like 30 minutes or whatever. So, like, you'd have to buy your tickets now for the 2 to 2:30 slot.
I see people just wandering in there, though.
They might be in such straits where they can't turn down any business at the moment.
And what's the situation with the restaurant? Is it still open there? I have no idea.
I think it is still open. I don't know how it's doing. Reviews have not been good.
I believe they changed formats or whatever, however you want to call it, or maybe even management.
I had high hopes. I really.
Wait. Do you know what the turnstiles are saying? I mean,
I don't know.
Maybe they're doing a lot of people. Maybe they've got the money. They just haven't paid the money yet.
Yeah.
I mean, they may be doing 5,000. I don't know. And I apologize for not knowing.
We're
It's
missing
one of the things
the
that
boat.
when Liz Swain from Downtown Development Authority joined us yesterday, and she was talking about, because we wanted to have her on to congratulate DDA and bluntly put the city of Shreveport right now 100% occupancy at the Red River District. Because the restaurant, latest one in, is Proud Mary's. They're in the old MacArthur spot there on the corner.
It's doing great.
And you had mentioned that you had not been down there in quite a while.
Quite some time.
And I said to Liz, in all honesty, is that really your fault? And what I said to Liz was, Pete, look, you have your rotation of places. I have mine. We all have our rotations. And it's you got to be. That's what advertising's for.
Absolutely.
You know, you need to be a little more top of mind. And I'm not necessarily saying that Red River District and or its clients should buy time on KEEL. But you know what? Advertising helps.
It works.
Advertising works. The spots, the ads that I do for Quirby's, specifically the Quirby's Grill, which is awesome, by the way. I'll get in a plug. We were having lunch there after golf last Sunday, because we teed off about 8, finished about noon, and had lunch in the grill after. There was a guy at the bar who was having lunch also, and mentioned to the young lady behind the counter that he had heard about it on KEEL, on the radio, not knowing that the guy, i.e. me, who had done those ads,
sitting right there,
was 3.5 feet away.
They absolutely work.
The point being,
we had another restaurant owner said, a brand new restaurant opened, Evie's, I'll say, and said, you absolutely doubled her business in just a couple of weeks of talking about how great, and it wasn't paid commercial. You just went in there and found it good food.
It's freaking great. It still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you serve good food and have good service, people will go.
The point I'm making is this, and I don't mean to be critical of any client in the Red River District, but when Erin says, I just never pops into my head.
It doesn't.
Why does it not pop into your head? Because they're not top of mind.
No.
Why are they not top of mind?
People aren't talking about it. They're not getting the word out. It's just not happening.
So
it's
in much
my whole hope.
In much the same way, don't lose your thought.
Okay.
In much the same way, I don't know what the attendance at the aquarium is. It may be high, it may be low. They may be meeting their numbers. They may be hitting it, and they may be just really pleased as could be. The point is, of all the places, when's the last time you saw an ad for the aquarium?
You don't. If I heard commercials and heard little kids talking about how great it was to see a shark, can you imagine the commercials?
Or a mom saying, you know where we had a great little birthday party for my 10-year-old?
Yeah. Or when I have visitors come visit me in town, this is one of the places I love to take them. It would be people would go.
So at some point, it's on them to get people to come in there.
And that's one of the first things these folks
cut.
This
is not Field of Dreams, kids.
Yeah, when they decide they need to cut their budget, we're going to cut our marketing budget.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You just cut your whole thing. But when I get back to salt, and I get back to that property there, I have a very big affinity for having a nice, relaxing meal overlooking water. Smith's Cross Lake Inn was one of my favorite places in town because you could sit, watch the sunset over the lake. I had such hope for Salt because I thought we're going to have a riverfront restaurant where I could sit, enjoy a meal, and overlook the Red River. I thought how cool that is. We're missing the boat on that, man. We've got so much riverfront property that you could have some great spots along the riverfront. People could sit, watch the river. It's just relaxing. It's very soothing for me. I will go out of my way to go to places like Smith's Cross Lake Inn was in the middle of, you had to make a trip to go there. I loved it. love sitting there just relaxing.
649, it's 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic and weather updates right now. Don't forget, just ahead, Your Money Now presented by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Olmenden Road in Bossier City due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
We survived the fall storm of 2018. 1017 FM, 710 Keel Weather Channel forecast kind of cloudy today. Markedly cooler highs today, only barely above 60. Right now, 59 degrees at Keel. One 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's. Wait till you hear what we got. Where was I? Oh, yeah, sports update. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher, the Coach O Show last night on KWKH. Ed Orgeron let it out that if the coin toss ends up with their decision to receive or kick, Tigers are going to take the ball Saturday against top-ranked Alabama. The high school football week kicks off with 3 games locally tonight. Bossier visits Northwood, Woodlawn entertains Huntington at Independence Stadium, and North Caddo welcomes Calvary to Vivian. The NFL week gets off with a really ugly matchup. 49ers and Raiders in what could end up being a battle for who gets the first draft pick in 2019. In the NBA last night, former Louisiana Tech legend Paul Millsap had a putback with 0.1 seconds remaining in overtime to lift Denver past Chicago 108-107. Millsap finished with 19 points. The Nuggets are 6-1. Steph Curry had 37 points, shooting 7 of 11 from beyond the arc in a 131-121 win over the Pelicans. Anthony Davis returned to the floor for New Orleans after missing 2 games with an elbow injury. He was a little rusty, though. Hit only 6 out of 16 shots, finished with 17 points and 12 boards in the loss. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty coming up just after 7 o'clock. It's kind of a riff I've done before, but it has to do with Nick Saban and Alabama. And Erin asked a question a couple of seconds ago.
What does he always have a Coke on the podium with him when he does anything in front of the media?
Because they've banned cigarette advertising.
He gets money for that?
You think?
For putting the Coke up there? He has one. He has a bottle of Dasani water and a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Both Coke products, coincidentally.
And then he goes for a sip of the Coke at some point.
Do you think any of that is accidental? Please don't be naive. Nick Saban.
He gets money for that?
I would imagine Nick Saban is making close to 7 figures for that. I would imagine that Coke is giving Nick Saban $1 million or more a year for that.
And it always has to be on the podium every time he goes before the media.
Every single time.
A Coke and a bottle of Dasani. Watch it.
Nick that's kind of the riff what I'm going to talk about just after 7 o'clock. And you'll recognize it when I tell you. And basically the title of it is Nobody Wants to Be Nick Saban. Remember that one?
Right.
Nobody wants to be Nick Saban coming up after 7.
By the way, if you want to see Nick Saban on LSU, his remarks on what he thinks of the game, it's up right now at KEELnews.com. Look on the ticket scam post. I put it all in there.
Repeat the ticket scam post, because there's a lot of people, and I'm intrigued by this. And Matt is doing a lot of reading on that. What did you... Your point was that people who have tickets to sell, or hell, even if you're going to the game, I mean, how many of those triumphant social media posts have you seen in the last week?
I got tickets.
And a picture of your tickets. Guess where I'll be Saturday.
Right.
Well, maybe
Don't
not.
do it.
Why not?
Because if a scammer can get a hold of your barcode, they can actually recreate your ticket. They could recreate the ticket with just your barcode and use your ticket. And when you get to the game, guess what? Your ticket's void.
You go into the stadium, all they care about is running that scanner over the barcode, just
lock
like at the
it
grocery
down.
store. You get a beep, whatever number ticket that is, suddenly it ceases to exist.
And the game is officially a sellout.
Yeah.
So you're going to run into some outside the stadium. I'm just going to give you this heads up. You're going to run into some scammers who've got tickets to sell, and they're going to think, I'm going to go down to the stadium and unload these. I can pocket some, quick grand for a couple of tickets. That's illegal, first. And second, you don't know that those tickets are good.
Beware.
You bet.
What is it? Caveat emptor. I don't know what that means, right? Pablo est Baraxa.
Oh, boy.
Not good at Latin.
Why can't somebody pay me to put an orange juice up here?
6:56. Here's Rush on Keel.
Well, it didn't take long out there. Liberals and drive-by media pundits immediately denounced President Trump for saying that he could end birthright citizenship by executive order. And it didn't take long for prominent Republicans to pile on. Outgoing Senator Jeff Flake said President Trump can't do that and shouldn't do that. Here's a fact. The 14th Amendment was never intended to grant blanket citizenship to the offspring of illegal aliens, and it was never used that way for most of our history. Granting birthright citizenship to anchor babies has been so abused that it turned into a Democrat vote racket. Now, Republican voters have demanded that birthright citizenship be stopped or at least legally challenged. They've demanded that law enforcement protect our borders and deport criminals and shut down sanctuary cities, and Congress did nothing. But Donald Trump is a can-do president, and what he needs is a crop of new Republicans in the House and the Senate who support his getting it done. This is a very important conversation starter. It needs to happen. And don't elect people that tell him he can't do it. Send people to Washington to help him do it. My friends, like you, I am thankful every day for the brave men and women who protect our freedom and our country. Now, as Veterans Day approaches, I want to announce that my friends at Mahindra are holding their 5th annual Military Salute giveaway. The winner will receive a Mahindra Retriever utility vehicle. That's right, a brand new red Mahindra Retriever 1000 gas model. Last year's winner, Army Captain Robert Forney of Ohio, is loving his Mahindra, and you could be next. To nominate somebody who is active duty or a veteran of the U.S. military and to get official rules, visit rushlimbaugh.com and look for the Mahindra Military Salute giveaway. Thanks to Mahindra, the makers of the toughest utility vehicles on earth, and God bless all of you who protect our freedom.
Take advantage of rock-bottom prices and test drive a Mahindra today at Kelly Tractor and Equipment in Longview. or visit kellytractor.net. That's kellytractor.net.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
6:59, here's your Keel Weather Channel forecast. Kind of cloudy today. Rain should be subsiding. High later today. Man, it's going to be cooler today. May not even hit 60. Right now, 59 degrees at Keel, 7 o'clock. Here comes Fox News.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Just after 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Erin down yonder has local news up next.
Several agencies investigating the discovery of a skull in DeSoto Parish. More lawsuits against the Shreveport Aquarium. And how'd you like to buy Aretha Franklin's house?
Wow. All those dresses still in the closet? First segment, and I'll tease it this way. Tell me something that you think within the boundaries of the state of Alabama that Nick Saban has to pay for.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on Keel.
information. KEEL News now.
3 more sex charges filed against Aubrey Norcross, a teacher at Benton Elementary School. Norcross is now being accused of 3 more counts of molesting a juvenile and faces 11 separate charges. Sheriff Whittington says it's tough for these boys and girls to tell their stories, but he's glad they're coming forward so the healing can begin. Several agencies investigating the discovery of a skull in DeSoto Parish. The human remains were found in a pasture on Highway 512 East in Benson. Members of the DeSoto Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and Coroner's Office are searching the area for any additional human bones. The LSU Faces Lab is working with the team to try to determine the identity of the deceased. Shreveport police need help tracking down an alleged bank robber. A Elliott Flusas Sr. is accused of robbing the Chase Bank on Free State Boulevard Wednesday morning. He allegedly walked into the branch, demanded money from the clerk, and fled on foot. You can see photos of him at KEELnews.com. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to contact Caddo Crime Stoppers at 673-7373. Strong storms roared through our area last night. We were under a tornado watch for a good part of the evening. No serious damage has been reported, though there are some scattered power outages this morning. The aquarium has more legal troubles. Matt Parker with that.
2 companies are suing the Shreveport Aquarium, claiming they have yet to be paid for their work on the project. Wayland Davco and Rimmer Electric have both filed separate lawsuits against Planet Aqua Group. Several companies placed liens against the aquarium last year after failing to be paid. The lawsuit says that the aquarium owes more than $250,000 in unpaid construction bills. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A woman pleads guilty to murder. Kiana Williams pled guilty to manslaughter for her role in killing 82-year-old Kathleen Cates. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Her accomplice, Roy Narcisse, was sentenced to life in prison last week after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. The duo killed Cates after doing yard work at her Anderson Island home. For LSU to have any chance Saturday, they'll need to contain Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who's thrown for 25 TDs and 0 interceptions. The QB's also a good runner. Tigers defensive end Rashard Lawrence says they want to keep him from getting out in the open field.
We're going to have to be aggressive in how we rush, but more importantly, we're going to have to rush inside of our rush lanes because I've seen on films a couple of times already him, break a run for 20 or 30 yards on third down, and that could really hurt you. So we're going to have to be aggressive in what we do, but at the same time, we have to be under control and able to box him in.
Lawrence says the defense expects to get a big boost when linebacker Devin White takes the field in the second half after serving his first half suspension. Kickoff Saturday night is 7 p.m. A jury has awarded more than $3.5 million to a former Catholic school teacher who said the Archdiocese of Los Angeles fired her for being pregnant and unwed. Jurors deliberated for less than a day before finding in favor of Courtney Liggins. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Thursday morning traffic. Ruben's ready.
The intersection at Uri Drive and Southfield Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Benton Road near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Oh, make a mental note, because my mind is like Teflon, nothing much sticks. Do me a favor, make a mental... What are you doing?
Mental note. Making a mental note.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought Halloween was over.
By the way, she's saying, mental note, and then trying to figure out why your mic isn't on. Maybe you should make a mental note while you're at it to turn on your damn mic.
Make a mental note before the love ceases. Make a mental note that we have to review the Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster button test from yesterday.
Oh, yes.
For those who might have missed it, and especially those who did not hear your swearing, your profanities, your emotional unraveling that got people a lot of state fair tickets.
Yeah, we did.
I said this at the top of the hour tease, and I'm being totally serious. Name one thing. Can you think of possibly anything that within the borders of the state of Alabama that Nick Saban pays for? And in fact, not only does he probably get it for free, but they probably give him money to use it.
Probably pays a water bill, electric bill.
Does getting money from a company count, even if you have to pay the bill, if they're paying you for an endorsement? Does that count as getting it for free?
You brought up the
point. His house is probably free.
You brought up the point. Everything. You don't think he's not driving free cars?
Oh, yeah.
Car insurance.
I would bet that I would be willing to bet that Nick Saban's, not counting restaurant bills and entertainment, I would be willing to bet that Nick Saban's monthly expenses are less than yours.
Oh, man, that's sad.
No, that's
awesome. Sad.
It's awesome if you're Nick Saban.
He pays some things, right?
What do you think he pays?
They got to buy groceries. Think he's got a grocery trade? Take care of Nick's groceries. He's probably got a Bama credit card that pays for everything, I bet. You're right.
Hi, this is Nick Saban for Kroger. Hi, this is Nick Saban for Brookshire's. Hi, this is Nick Saban for Piggly Wiggly. It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
And we all know athletes of a certain note who, let's just say they're out having a couple of drinks, someone at the bar is going to pick up the tab.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you, man, big Alabama fan, let me pick that up for you.
Yeah. I remember when my kids came home and they would go out in their marine blues, when they'd go out, like take a date out in their marine blues, somebody would pick up the tab. I often thought, I need to get a Marine outfit and just wear it out.
And yet, and you and I have discussed this, nobody wants to be Nick Saban.
So I don't know.
Okay,
Why not?
This is the genesis of this discussion. About 3 or 4 years ago, you know who David Feherty is?
Yes,
David Feherty is a guy
absolutely.
on the Golf Channel. He's a golf reporter. I think he's on NBC now. I don't know.
Funny guy.
The point being, David Feherty on Golf Channel has a weekly show, and it's an interview show, and he sits down with famous people, golf or sports related, and they talk about this and that. And 3 or 4 years ago, he interviewed Nick Saban, and they conduct the interview at Nick Saban's home in the mountains on some lake. I think it's in Georgia or some huge resort area, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell from this house, this probably a $2 or $3 million home on the side of a mountain overlooking this beautiful river. It is as palatial a home in as a perfect a spot as you could ever imagine. And in the course of the interview, David Feherty says to Nick Saban, this is an incredible place. And Nick Saban says, yeah, this is awesome. We are so lucky to get to live here. He just says, Nick Saban says, I wish I could spend more time here.
Yeah.
And I thought, hold on. The only one who tells Nick Saban that he can't spend more time at his vacation home is Nick Saban.
Right.
Nick Saban could literally never go to an Alabama practice again. He could be emailing or texting the practice itinerary to assistants, and nobody's going to care as long as he shows up on Saturday and as long as he wins.
Mm-hmm.
The only one who tells Nick Saban that he can't spend all his time at his vacation home is Nick Saban. So why is Nick Saban like that? Because Nick Saban, and here was the offer, here was the challenge that I made to you and everybody. If you remember, I went up and down the hall for 3 or 4 days, and I basically did this riff with everybody who works here at Town Square Media, our parent company in Shreveport. I said, why don't you try being Nick Saban for about a month? And they said, what do you mean? I said, at the end of the day, when you think you've done all you could possibly do, that you have performed every task to its ultimate, to its maximum, work another 90 minutes. Every time you think you have done the best job you can do on whatever it is you're doing, sit back, look at it, and through the course of the day, you perform a number of, I don't mean small in stature. What I mean is you perform in putting the show together and putting news together as a manager. You perform a number of small tasks. So let us theorize. Let us just assume for the moment that every task takes about, let's say, an hour.
Yep.
Instead of spending an hour on that task, on that job, on that mission, when you're done, why don't you just sit back, look at it, and say, you know what? This looks pretty good. But what if I spent another 30 or 45 minutes on it? And everybody said, well, that'd be too hard. It'd be too difficult. It would take too much time. You said, well, I want to go home and spend time with my sons. I've got naps. I've got lunches. I've got things to do.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, you know who's the one person in the same vein? The only person that tells Nick Saban he can't spend more time at his vacation home is Nick Saban. You know who the only one that tells Erin McCarty that she shouldn't spend another half hour on task A or B or C and make it even better than it is right now? The only one who says, I got naps to take. I got lunches to eat. I got family to spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
The only one who tells you that the job is done is Erin McCarty.
That's true.
Being Nick Saban's hard. Being Nick Saban, there's a price to pay to be Nick Saban.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when he's got the vacation home, the $3 million or whatever vacation home, when he literally is on the expense account for the entire state of Alabama, when he probably hasn't paid for anything in a decade or more, remember what he did and what he continues to do to get all that stuff. And whether or not he really, at the end of the day, gets to enjoy it half as much as you would if you were in that same position. Which you don't have to worry about because you're not about to work an 80-hour week.
Not happening.
19 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel, 20 past 7. Just changed, 7:21. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Coach O Show last night on KWKH. Ed Orgeron let it out that if the coin toss ends up with their decision to receive or kick, Tigers are going to take the ball Saturday against top-ranked Alabama. The high school football week kicks off with 3 games locally tonight. Bossier visits Northwood, Woodlawn entertains Huntington at Independence Stadium, and North Caddo welcomes Calvary to Vivian. The NFL week gets off with a really ugly matchup. 49ers and Raiders in what could end up being a battle for who gets the first draft pick in 2019. In the NBA last night, former Louisiana Tech legend Paul Millsap had a putback with 0.1 seconds remaining in overtime to lift Denver past Chicago 108-107. Millsap finished with 19 points. The Nuggets are 6-1. Steph Curry had 37 points, shooting 7 of 11 from beyond the arc in a 131-121 win over the Pelicans. Anthony Davis returned to the floor for New Orleans after missing 2 games with an elbow injury. He was a little rusty, though. Hit only 6 out of 16 shots, finished with 17 points and 12 boards in the loss. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. So yesterday, well, actually, it was just after 7:30 yesterday, we had decided to test the Jack Spring electric shockbuster button. Parky, you have the sound bite all set to go.
I do.
The actual audio from yesterday's.
Oh, boy.
What?
I'm not at my best on this.
I think this is definitely you at your best. Your apogee, your zenith, your shining moment.
Yeah.
See, here's how this works if you don't know. The Jack Spring electric shockbuster button is, in fact, the 7-second delay that we use, because in talk radio, you never know when somebody's going to come off the rails and
I need to be zapped.
and utter something. So basically, you got to hit the button and you go back to being live. And it sounds on the radio like a bad edit.
Yeah, it's like we edit it out. Yeah.
And then it sort of builds up again over 30 seconds to the 7-second delay.
Mm-hmm.
And I liken that to basically a 21 or 22-year-old guy on his honeymoon. You hit the button, it takes a little more time to build back up. But then before you know it, he's up and ready to go again. Poor choice of words on my part. I apologize. So the point being, this Jack Spring electric shockbuster button only affects the terrestrial transmitter signals from the AM 710, the FM 101.7. You with me on this so far?
Yeah.
It does not affect, I was talking to them, not you. It does not affect, it doesn't, in fact, it's not even hooked up to the digital feed, the stream, because that is not under the aegis, the regulatory authority of the Federal Communications Commission. So we decided yesterday that Erin was going to purposely swear.
Yeah.
That she was going to say words that, to be blunt, one does not speak in polite company. And then when that happened, if you were listening on the AM or the FM, the terrestrial transmitters, that immediately, because we're on the 7-second delay, when she said them, we'd give it a beat or two, Matt would hit the Jack Spring electric shockbuster button.
And these are words that just don't come out of my mouth.
It should, and on the air, on the transmitters, it would be clipped. You would never hear it.
Right.
And we'd work our way back into being live to the 7-second. But on the digital stream, another story. As everybody there heard your profanities, heard your obscenities.
And everyone that heard it got a chance to call in and chat with Matt and win some tickets.
Poor Matt had to give away about like 20 pair of state fair tickets yesterday. Now, for those of you who are regular listeners on the AM or FM terrestrial transmitter signals, you're probably still wondering, what was it that Erin said?
Oh, boy.
We have gotten special legal clearance.
Did we really?
You were the one that sent the email. We have received from Town Square Media Legal Department special, I think it's like a dispensation to play this one time and one time only, so that if you missed yesterday, we don't have to Jack Spring it this time.
I apologize in advance.
Look, rather than us try to describe to them the horrific tone of your words, Parky, you've got it ready to go? This is yesterday's test, unclipped, unbeeped,
in all its glory,
uncensored, of the Jack Spring electric shockbuster button. Stand by. Don't hit the button until I give you the cue, okay? Because we'll have 7 seconds. You okay?
Your fingers ready?
I've never seen you cross yourself. You're not even Catholic.
I am Catholic, actually.
I hope we turned on the button.
Oh God. Did anybody check?
It's on.
Okay.
Are we sure?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Jack Spring electric shockbuster button test. 3, 2, 1.
Nick Saban!
That's rough. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Do you know how many lawyers
I
we have?
don't utter those words.
No, I know you don't.
It's bad.
Let us apologize. For those of you who heard it yesterday, Matt apologized on the phone with everybody that got the state fair tickets. But today, for those of you listening on the AM or FM transmitters, that was what you missed yesterday.
Yeah.
And we apologize if you are offended.
Oh.
And if the kids are in the car,
I will never say those words again, I promise.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, local news just a couple of seconds away. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Two companies are suing the Shreveport Aquarium, claiming they have yet to be paid for their work on the project, while Davco and Rimmer Electric have both filed separate suits against Planet Aqua. Several companies placed liens against the aquarium last year after failing to be paid. The suits say the aquarium owes more than $250,000 in unpaid construction bills. Several agencies investigating the discovery of a skull in DeSoto Parish. The remains were found in a pasture on Highway 512 east in Benson. Members of the DeSoto Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and Coroner's Office are searching for any additional human bones. The LSU Faces Lab is working with the team to determine the identity of the deceased. Shreveport police need your help tracking down an alleged bank robber. A.C. Elliott Flusis Sr. is accused of robbing the bank on Free State Boulevard around 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Flusis allegedly walked into the bank demanding money from the clerk and fled the scene on foot. You can see photos of him at KEELnews.com. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to call Caddo Crime Stoppers at 673-7373. More charges filed against a Bossier teacher. Matt Parker has that.
3 more child sex charges have been filed against Aubrey Norcross, a teacher at Benton Elementary School. Norcross is now being charged with 3 more counts of molestation of a juvenile and faces 11 separate charges. Sheriff Julian Whittington says that it's tough for these boys and girls to tell their story, but he's glad they are coming forward so their healing can begin. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A woman pleads guilty to murder. Kiana Williams pleads guilty to manslaughter for her role in killing 82-year-old Kathleen Cates. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Her accomplice in the crime, Roy Narcisse, sentenced to life in prison last week after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. The duo killed Cates after doing yard work at her home. With less than a week until the midterms, President Trump's in Florida campaigning for Republicans. The president said he will not let anyone from the caravan into our country.
But we're getting prepared for the caravan, folks. You don't have to worry about that. Getting prepared for the caravan. And they got a lot of rough people in those caravans. They are not angels. They are not.
Thousands of migrants are making their way to the U.S. Many Democrats have accused the president of fear-mongering about the caravan. For $800,000, you could get a 5-bedroom, 7-bath home in a gated community outside Detroit. Bonus, Aretha Franklin used to own it. Franklin's 4,100 square foot brick colonial home in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, has been listed for sale. It includes a 3-car garage, a sauna, his and hers walk-in closets, and an indoor bridge that overlooks the foyer. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 1017 FM and 710 Keel. Erin McCarty, proponent of the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
So this DAVTAC thing, what the hell? When does that start? Are you doing it already?
I'm so excited. It's a week from Tuesday, and
okay, this is a special. It's a I almost said civil defense class. That's not. No, that's like.
It's an introduction to guns type class. Bring your gun.
That was what I meant to say.
Women are going to sit down. They're going to show us everything. We're going to have part classroom, part shooting. It's going to be on November 13th, and then another class on the 15th. You only have to do one.
Just for the sake of this discussion, this deal you're doing with DAVTAC, is it a women's only introduction to handguns class?
Yes, and it is absolutely going to be a blast. I'm going to be at both classes.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Sorry.
I'm going to be at both. You only have to attend one. It's an introduction. Don't be scared about guns. Learn about guns.
Now,
if you're interested in buying one, you don't even have to own a gun.
It's interesting
They'll rent you one if you need to.
mention that, because as you started this, and you've already been out there a couple of times and talked to the
Oh,
DAVTAC
yeah.
folks.
I'm a scaredy cat.
When you went out there the first couple of times, there was a degree of trepidation.
Absolutely.
Have they helped you overcome that, and how?
Oh, yeah. Because you're going to get to hold them and learn how to load them, learn how to clean them. Know that the gun is your friend, and it can be a protector for you. And be comfortable with it. I'm always scared, and this is just, I don't know, just maybe because I'm crazy.
Crazy old Erin.
Maybe.
No one would say that.
I've always thought I wanted to have a gun in my purse, but I always thought, I hate to say this out loud, I'd shoot myself in the butt. I'm going to sit on my purse, or something's going to happen, and I'm going to shoot myself in the butt.
It happened to Plaxico Burris. It can happen to you.
Yeah. So, but they're going to teach me all the safety features, everything I need to do. Ultimately, I'm going to go through their concealed carry class, which is coming up, and I'll let you know. You can go through that with me as well. But this first class...
Pardon me, not to give you any insight into what handgun Erin may choose, but she's already shopping for really big purses.
Oh, yeah. And I'm really excited. It's a week from Tuesday, and then another class will be 2 weeks from today.
Okay, so Tuesday is the 6th, so it would be the 13th?
13th, and then we're doing another session on the 15th.
On the 15th.
You only have to attend one, but there's limited space. I'm just telling you now, they only have limited spots for women. So if you want in on this class, you need to call them now, DAVTAC, and DAVTAC and Bossier. And you can find it at keelnews.com. Okay. It's all the information's right there. I'm just very excited. It's I'm a gun virgin. I've never owned a gun. I've only shot a gun a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm scared of them, but I'm going to learn how to make the gun that.
Tom Gresham would be very proud of you.
I know he would.
And soon to be a former DV.
I'm hoping you'll come join me in the class, because I'm going to need all the moral support I can get.
I meant GV, gun virgin. Where's Erin? She's in the back of the van with the handgun. 739, 1017 FM, 710 Keel, traffic time. Ruben's here.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue just south of East 70th Street. And we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near McDade Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app, a free download from Office Furniture Source and unencumbered by the 7-second Jack Spring electric shock buster button delay. So yesterday we had, I think he didn't like it so much at first, but I think he's come to embrace the term muckraker.
I think he likes muckraker.
John Settle was here, and he talked about the
Raker
latest
of muck.
A lot of financial stuff, the latest financial reports in the mayor's race, which over the last 30 days or so, 25, 30 days, Adrian's at like $43,000 he's raised, and Ollie's stuck on, it was like $12,000, something like that. And well, you tell me, because there was a reason, there was something he brought up that you sort of put this one together on your own, sans discussion with your 2-decade-long partner. You ended up texting a number of city council people yesterday. What was that about? What did you ask? What did Settle say that motivated these texts? And how many did you actually hear back from?
Well, the second part of the Settle piece, we asked him about how he thinks the race is going to shape up Tuesday. And he actually said he thought Perkins may actually finish ahead of Tyler, which kind of surprised me.
But
and then,
with all due respect to Mr. John, that's like I think Tulane may beat Alabama, but I mean that doesn't make it. You know, I mean that doesn't make it true.
But in looking at the finances and looking at the political momentum, he firmly believes that might happen.
So what did you ask him? What was
I asked Settle yesterday? I said, what seems to be the big problem with Tyler?
Well, first of all, it's a well-known fact that she's not very receptive to input from the public or from council members. She's very defensive. Ollie took with her to City Hall, a little close-knit group, similar to what she had at the school board, and she's added a few more very close-knit ladies that are around her. But every council person will tell you that she's not receptive to input from them. She often makes decisions concerning their districts without consulting them, where to pave the streets, where to do things. So one is she's not receptive to input from elected leaders and not particularly from citizens. She gets very defensive if it's not her idea.
See, but once again, it is that speculation? Is it fact? Is John just voicing his own opinion?
Well, obviously it's his opinion because he's a raker.
Well, so you did what?
Well, I reached out to a couple of council members to see if they'd heard it and what their opinion of it was, because he was talking about her relationship with the council, etc. And I thought, I wonder if they feel the same.
And perhaps that's just her management style, to have a small circle of people you trust.
Sure.
It can be a dirty business down there.
I might do the same thing.
Exactly.
I got this response. One response I can read on the air. The other one?
Pardon me. Did you send 7? Did you send text to all 7 council people?
No, I did not.
How many did you send?
I'm not sure how many. I really don't know. My phone has got so many texts in it right now that I couldn't. I'd have to go back and.
But the question was.
My question was, did you agree with Settle's assessment of how the mayor deals with the council? And this council member wrote back, I would agree with most of John's observations. Mayor continues to operate in a small bubble, surrounded only by those she trusts most, not unlike her Caddo Parish School Board days. Off for a politician, but seems to be okay for her. And, that brought up an interesting point, because when you're superintendent of schools, you're not elected. You don't report to the public as such. You report to a school board, and they're your boss. So you surround yourself with great people that'll get the job done, that'll be loyal to you, and then you work the room of the school board members. And that's how she ran the school board, and that's apparently how she's running the city. The problem with that is she's elected. She answers to you and I.
So basically what you're telling me here is that to analogize, when she was school superintendent, that she really just had to sort of work the room, as it were, of school board members, which is sort of analogous to the city council. But beyond that, she, as superintendent of schools, wasn't answerable, she only had school board members to please,
Right.
not an electorate.
And she had her staff around her that were good at managing the school board. They knew, if a school board member needed something, and Matt's superintendent, the school board member knew, call Bob for what you need here, call Erin for what you need here. She had the people doing everything the school board members needed them to do in the right place to keep her protected.
So what was the other response you received? You read the one?
I can't read it. It was not nice, so I'm not reading it.
What?
I'm not reading it.
Can you give us any hints as to who
Nope.
those two were?
No, not reading it. No, it's bad.
Do you agree?
It's not good. I'm
Do
not
you
gonna,
agree?
We're 5 days from the election. I'm not
Do
going
you
to do
agree
that.
with my assessment yesterday? Just based, and believe me, this is just voices on the ground to mix metaphors.
Mm-hmm.
That this is going to be, in the choices that the electorate makes, that this is going to be one of the most, you expect surprises, in the sense that how many Republicans have we spoken to who are considering voting Democrat? How many Democrats have we spoken to who are thinking about voting Republican?
Oh, people are crossing over all kinds of boundaries this
That's what I
election.
mean.
Racial boundaries, political boundaries, sex boundaries. I mean, there's a lot of people. I know a lot of women who say, "I'm voting for the woman." Got to vote. That's not this time. It's not happening this time. Or a lot of men. I'm not letting a woman be a mayor. She's done a horrible job. I'm voting for a dude.
Would you
not
say
happening.
this is going to be one of the, you've been in this town a long time, 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say this is shaping up to be, on election night, one of the most unpredictable?
Abso-freaking-lutely. No doubt about it. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
I still tend to think what was said by Scott Hughes first and a number of others. Right now, it's a battle for second.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to end up second?
Yep. But you have those who say she may not even finish first. If she doesn't finish first, mark my words. She's going to wait. She's going to be upset with me, and that's okay. If she doesn't finish first, she's not running in December. She bails.
No matter how close it is.
She doesn't finish first, she bails.
Because the only one that did that previously was Bo Williams when Keith won in the general election.
And I don't have a huge close relationship with her, but I think she would say, the people don't want me. If they don't want me, I'm 70 plus years. I got to retire.
So you're saying
I'll
if
go
it's
home. I'll go to the house.
25 to 24 or 30 to 28.
If I were her, I'd say, I did I tried. I did my best. I think I did good. You disagree with me? You don't want me there? Okay, I'm going to the house.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty stand by for Your Money Now, brought to us by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. Weather Channel forecast, kind of cloudy and markedly cooler today. High may not even hit 60. Right now, 58. It's 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. 1017 FM, 710 Keel Sports Time.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Coach O Show last night on KWKH. Ed Orgeron let it out that if the coin toss ends up with their decision to receive or kick, Tigers are going to take the ball Saturday against top-ranked Alabama. The high school football week kicks off with 3 games locally tonight. Bossier visits Northwood, Woodlawn entertains Huntington at Independence Stadium, and North Caddo welcomes Calvary to Vivian. The NFL week gets off with a really ugly matchup. 49ers and Raiders in what could end up being a battle for who gets the first draft pick in 2019. In the NBA last night, former Louisiana Tech legend Paul Millsap had a putback with 0.1 seconds remaining in overtime to lift Denver past Chicago 108-107. Millsap finished with 19 points. The Nuggets are 6-1. Steph Curry had 37 points, shooting 7 of 11 from beyond the arc in a 131-121 win over the Pelicans. Anthony Davis returned to the floor for New Orleans after missing 2 games with an elbow injury. He was a little rusty, though. Hit only 6 out of 16 shots, finished with 17 points and 12 boards in the loss. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
What are you doing?
Air drums. Is that okay?
Can you name this song?
It's a cover.
Oh, for my shoe back, baby.
It's a cover.
Oh, me, oh, baby.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, me, oh,
At least she knows the words.
oh, please, oh, me, baby. Am I
Sounds
close?
You sound like you're doing Dan Aykroyd Rubber Biscuits from Blues Brothers.
Am I close? What is it?
It's Godsmack version, cover version of Beatles Come Together.
Come Together, that's it.
Yeah. Had it all the way.
Yeah.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The Jack Spring electric shockbuster button, as proven yesterday, is operative, functional, and awesome, just like Jack Spring Electric.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me an idea earlier this hour, and it is what we will talk about in the first segment of the 8 o'clock hour.
Uh-oh.
And it has to do, we're going to start like macro and go micro. Because I was asking you, well, it was something. I don't want to get into the details because people were criticizing you, and I no reason to bring that up. But the point is, you went to vote early.
I did.
And I had said to somebody a couple of days ago, I said, it's stupid. In fact, it was Matt, one of the people I talked to. Why do we even have election day anymore? Why don't we just have election week? Because we have early voting, then we shut it down for a while. Then we have election day. Well, why just not have election week? Because we've got, a week or 10 days or 2 weeks of early voting, whatever it works out to be.
Yeah.
Then we have election day, which, does that really matter? Because more and more people are doing early voting.
Yes.
So why have election day anymore? Nobody gives a damn about election day.
Well, I talked to a few people who say, I like to go out on that day in the crowds and
you're right.
the fanfare.
This is sort of what I want to talk about, and your Erin McCarty's early voting experience just past 8 o'clock.
One text on the Shreveport Security Systems text line: the only time Ollie Tyler is answerable to the public is once every 4 years. November 6th is the clarion call Ollie gets.
Is that a city council person sent you that?
No, that's on our text line.
1017 FM 710 Keel. Here's Hannity.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
There is an unknown factor here. Anyone that tells you they know what's going to happen doesn't. There's not one outcome, to be very frank with you, that would surprise me, but I do know this. I do see fear at a level that is unprecedented. They never saw Trump coming. They never understood it. Election day 2016, they were in a state of shock. And it was not only shock, it was obvious sadness, depression, CNN, a white lash, against the country, etc. It is, they in the back of their head really fear you, the American people, and what you're going to decide.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
All right, so the holidays are just weeks away, but there's still time to get your home guest ready with brand new made-to-order custom blinds from Blinds.com. And now through November the 5th, you buy one blind, you get the second one 60% off, plus you get an additional 5% off site-wide at Blinds.com just by using the promo code Hannity. Now, your order delivery is guaranteed by Thanksgiving or it's free. Buy one, get one 60% off, plus an additional 5% off. Just go to Blinds.com, promo code Hannity.
Exclusions, rules, and restrictions apply.
Hey, if you or a loved one struggles with leg or foot cramps, you've got to try TheraWorks Relief. Now, this non-greasy foam is proven to relieve muscle cramps fast, and with daily use, TheraWorks Relief can prevent muscle cramps, so that means you can get a full night's sleep or do the activities you love without any worry. TheraWorks Relief is my choice for preventing and relieving muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today in the pain relief aisle at Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, or just go to the website, TheraWorksRelief.com.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
A couple of seconds past 8 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Down yonder, Miss Erin, getting local news ready right now.
More child sex charges filed against Aubrey Norcross. We'll have more on that. A couple more lawsuits against the Shreveport Aquarium. We'll have that as well. And the hottest ticket in town is gone.
Yes, and you turned them down. You had. Is that what we're talking about?
No.
Is there really anything more to talk about today or even tomorrow than LSU and Alabama and the Shreveport mayor's race? But I do want to talk to you in the first segment about early voting and your early voting experience and why even have election day anymore? Why just have, let's just have election week or election month. You'll hear in a second or two. Fletcher Sports, traffic, and weather, it's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on Keel.
Hour of information. KEEL News now.
SPD on the hunt for a bank robber. We get more on that from Matt Parker.
Shreveport police need help tracking down an alleged bank robber. A.C. Elliott Flusay Sr. is accused of robbing the Chase Bank on Free State Boulevard around 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Flusay allegedly walked into the bank, demanded money from the clerk, and fled the scene on foot. You can see photos of Flusay at KeelNews.com. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to call Caddo Crime Stoppers at 673-7373. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
3 more child sex charges filed against Aubrey Norcross, a teacher at Benton Elementary School. Norcross is now being charged with 3 more counts of molesting a juvenile and faces 11 separate charges. Sheriff Julian Whittington says it's tough for these boys and girls to tell their stories, but he's glad they're coming forward so healing can begin. 2 companies are suing the Shreveport Aquarium, claiming they have yet to be paid for their work on the project. Weiland Davco and Rimmer Electric have both filed separate suits against Planet Aqua. Several companies placed liens against the aquarium last year after failing to be paid. The lawsuits claim the aquarium owes more than $250,000 in unpaid construction bills. A woman pleads guilty to murder. Kiana Williams pled guilty to manslaughter for her role in killing 82-year-old Kathleen Cates. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Her accomplice in the crime, Roy Narcisse, sentenced to life in prison last week after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. The duo killed Cates after doing yard work at her home. Multiple agencies investigating the discovery of a skull in DeSoto Parish. The human remains were found in a pasture on Highway 512 East in Benson. Members of the DeSoto Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and the Coroner's Office are searching the area for any additional human bones. The LSU Faces Lab is working with the team to determine the identity of the deceased. The hottest ticket in town is going fast as the Bama-LSU game is officially sold out, with fans' only way of getting into the stadium now on the secondary market, buying tickets offline. LSU's official ticket reselling partner is StubHub. Ticket manager Brian Broussard says if you buy through StubHub and there's an issue, LSU will find a fix for you.
There would be an issue. We will rectify that problem versus any other provider on the secondary marketplaces.
The game kicks off 7 o'clock Saturday night. The number of military troops being deployed to the U.S.-Mexican border has been changing at a dizzying pace as President Trump draws a hard line on immigration in the lead-up to the midterm elections. Trump said Wednesday the number of troops could go as high as 15,000. A jury in Texas has awarded $68,000 in damages to the family of a 12-year-old girl who suffered rope burns to her neck during a school field trip. The girl claimed classmates tied a rope around her neck and pulled her to the ground. She was one of only 2 black students at the Waco school. The girl had been suing for $12 million. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Thursday morning traffic. Traffic. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound. Starting at Spring and Market, it's backed up past Benton Road right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. I suppose we could start by apologizing to Daniel because we kind of forgot we had him on at 10 past 8 o'clock.
I mixed up my schedule.
And he's the Chief Executive Officer, Pelican Institute, kind of a think tank kind of. Hey, Daniel, how you been, man?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great. How are y'all?
I want to start, since it's big election day next Tuesday. Let's start in the macro and not the micro. I'm reading a lot of. Do you really think there's going to be this blue wave that the mainstream media is trumpeting, is touting, or do you think it's going to be like the Trump election of a couple of years ago, and the polls are all going to turn out to just be, at least across the country, just a lot of BS?
Well, gosh, it's been so hard that the whole industry of polling has been turned upside down from cell phones and everything else. I don't remember the last time I answered my home phone if I didn't know who it was. What we know, of course, is not a whole lot of drama here in Louisiana. We also know traditionally midterms are not kind to the party in the White House. I suspect we'll see some movement toward that blue wave, but likely not to the magnitude that perhaps we've been.
If you were a betting man looking at the national scene, because I know you pay attention to everything, but looking at the national landscape, would you say that the Dems are going to take the House back, or what is your feeling on that?
Boy, if I looked into my crystal ball, which of course I don't have, but if I had one, I think I say the House perhaps goes to the Dems by a slim margin, and Republicans likely pick up a seat or two in the Senate.
You issued your paper this week on Louisiana's budget and what we can do for our future. A jobs and opportunity agenda for Louisiana is at the top. Give folks a little bit of the highlight of this. What's important in this that matters to you guys and matters to the state?
Yeah, people across the state, as you and your listeners well know, are feeling the pain of the loss of jobs and opportunity to more friendly states like Texas and Tennessee and Florida. While the rest of the country is growing rapidly, we seem stuck in the mud. And so, at the Pelican Institute, we said what our goal is to unleash human flourishing, right? To help people get good quality jobs and grow the economy here. So we set out to say, what are those barriers to jobs and opportunity? And so have put forth a platform, that jobs and opportunity agenda, that says if we want to get from where we are today to a Louisiana that has good quality jobs and growth in economy and increase in opportunity, here's how we get there.
One of the things you highlight in this is that our revenue forecasting sucks. I'm just going to put it bluntly.
That may be a point that Ms. McCarty has made, once or twice before.
I've heard it.
Daniel, how do we fix that? I mean, there's smart people that know that are great bean counters, but we don't have them here.
That's right. The system is really challenging, and the way the revenue estimating conference is made up. And look, if we were in business, if you got that wrong that many times that frequently, you wouldn't be in business anymore.
Look, we have $300 million extra this year. Oops.
That's right. And so we've called for a few things in this. The first is increased transparency mid-year. Right now, by law, the executive, the governor, has no requirement to present updated revenue information to the REC. And so, theoretically, an executive could conceal relevant information, that could affect that budgeting process. And so we've said, look, let's make it a requirement that the executive, which watches the revenue coming in during the course of the year, has to provide those updates to REC, as well as updated spending projections, so we can see what we're on track to spend or not spend in the course of the year. And then reform REC altogether. Look, one of the things I think we ought to consider is outsourcing revenue projections to a third party that is at arm's length. People do this in business all over the country every day. There's no reason why it has to be a political process. This is a numbers process.
Your report also says that a lot of our problems, good ideas, are stopped by red tape. I'm quoting you now. Red tape, corrupt backroom dealings, and non-reviewed government spending. Corrupt backroom dealings with our West Point governor? Is that still happening?
Here in Louisiana, perish the thought. No, there's just we need more and more transparency. That's why we worked so hard to try to get Louisiana checkbook up and running. And to the point of these non-reviewed government spending, let me just give you a stat that just continues to blow my mind. In our state constitution alone, we dedicate 13,000 words to prescribing how the government should spend our money. 13,000 words just on these non-reviewed government spending or dedications. By contrast, the entirety of the United States Constitution, including its amendments, has 7,591 words. This is a broken process.
let me sort of make a big leap here. Well, maybe not in your mind nor mine. How do I want to phrase this? If, let's assume for the moment, okay, that everything in Baton Rouge related to state government is incredibly honest and above board and transparent, would it be unfair of me to say that just because of the size of the bureaucracy, hence the inefficiency, that nothing until you dismantle those layers and layers and layers will ever get changed? Hence, with all respect, you can write all the budget reform plans you want, and I can read and we can talk about it, but until there's a constitutional convention to reform state government, nothing's really going to happen?
Yeah, I think those are hand in glove. I don't know that they're, one or the other, but I agree with you. There's huge challenges. We've got to fix the process, and we've got to reform the Constitution. And you talk about the size of government. Louisiana, this is back to 2015, before we expanded Medicaid to 450,000 able-bodied adults. Was spending about $6,600 per capita per person, and that compares to Alabama at, God bless them, at $6,000, Texas at $5,000, Georgia $4,600, Florida $4,300. Those are all economies that are doing better than ours and have, to your point, much more streamlined government systems and process.
Yeah, I'm going to sort of put words in your mouth with my question here. There are states across the South that are cutting taxes and eliminating onerous regulations. If going to fix Louisiana's economy, as you stated earlier on, that everybody else seems to be doing great and we're sort of lagging behind, what's the one thing that Louisiana should change to get back on the right track?
Yeah, the funny thing is that it's hard to pick one. There's so many things that are wrong. But here's the summary: simplification and streamline. Whether it's the budget process, whether it's our convoluted and complicated tax system, whether it's our legal system, everything presents these great complications that are barriers to job creation, and more importantly, barriers to good quality job creation. As other states strip away complications, strip away bureaucracy, and streamline these processes, voila, they're seeing incredible growth and removing those barriers to jobs and opportunity.
Daniel Ersbaumer from the Pelican Institute. Sounds to me like I'll see you at the Constitutional Convention. I can hardly wait.
And you're going to be in studio next week with us, right?
I'll be there. I can't wait to see y'all.
Excellent, Daniel. Thank you very much. A pleasure as always. Great stuff, man. Thank you for your time.
See you next week. Thanks,
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Sports just ahead. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye on some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue near Piermont Road. And we have some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Over 40,000 HIV transmissions
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Time for sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Coach O Show last night on KWKH. Ed Orgeron let it out that if the coin toss ends up with their decision to receive or kick, Tigers are going to take the ball Saturday against top-ranked Alabama. The high school football week kicks off with 3 games locally tonight. Bossier visits Northwood, Woodlawn entertains Huntington at Independence Stadium, and North Caddo welcomes Calvary to Vivian. The NFL week gets off with a really ugly matchup. 49ers and Raiders in what could end up being a battle for who gets the first draft pick in 2019. In the NBA last night, former Louisiana Tech legend Paul Millsap had a putback with 0.1 seconds remaining in overtime to lift Denver past Chicago 108-107. Millsap finished with 19 points. The Nuggets are 6-1. Steph Curry had 37 points, shooting 7 of 11 from beyond the arc in a 131-121 win over the Pelicans. Anthony Davis returned to the floor for New Orleans after missing 2 games with an elbow injury. He was a little rusty, though. Hit only 6 out of 16 shots, finished with 17 points and 12 boards in the loss. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Twenty-five past 8 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Reaching for the stars? What exactly are you doing?
I'm dancing.
That's dancing.
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha.
Stop. I have fun in here. This is a fun gig.
That's dancing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Wow. Learn something new every day.
Need a hip replacement now.
Okay, so in the next 2 segments, we both had rather embarrassing moments in our personal lives yesterday.
I committed a crime.
We've got about 3.5 minutes here to cover yours. Yes.
Okay.
As described in the 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah, I'm a criminal.
You are, in fact, if 3 strikes, you're out. I mean, you took care of 2 of them yesterday.
Yeah, I did. I am with my son. We're at one of the wonderful casino buffets, which shall be nameless.
Till the end of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wonderful buffet, great food, enjoyed our time, chatting and blah, blah, blah. My son had a T-bone. I had a couple of ribs.
They have T-bones at the buffet?
Yeah, they got some good stuff. Yeah, they got some good
more.
food.
Yeah.
And piles of, plates on the table and all that. And I looked at the T-bone and I looked at the rib bones and I looked at my son. I said, man, Bo would love those.
Who's Bo?
Bo is my grandpuppy.
So how much does this dog weigh?
120, 180, 220. I'm not sure.
It's getting bigger every day.
He's big, yeah. He's a big boy.
He's on a weight program.
And, he goes, he really would. I said, well, maybe I'll get some napkins. We'll wrap up the bones and take them, put them in my purse and take them to Bo.
Because nothing's more sophisticated than having food detritus in your purse.
I have a little inner pocket I could put it in. So I go up to the buffet again. I look around by the shrimp thinking there'll be some paper napkins, you can wrap the bones in. I didn't see paper napkins anywhere. So I went over to my waitress and I said, "Do you have some paper napkins?" No, ma'am, we don't, but I'll get you some cloth napkins. I said, "Oh, okay, good." So she brought me about 4 cloth napkins to the table.
Wait.
Yeah.
Those aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
I mean, they get them in mass. They get them in bulk.
Yeah, they do.
So
I look around me. Nobody's looking.
She gave them to you, didn't
Yeah,
she?
she
Know
gave
you were.
them.
So she's sort of.
She didn't know I was going to take it.
What did she think
she
you were
thought
gonna...
I was going to wipe my hands with it, that I had shrimp and maybe
you
I
didn't
needed.
say specifically.
No.
I'm going to steal.
No,
food.
I didn't say I'm going to steal anything. No. But
Why
I opened.
Why didn't you just grab some silverware while you were at it?
Well, that's another story. I open the napkin, look around me to see if anybody's looking, plop the bones in the middle of the napkin, wrap it up, kind of push it to the side nonchalantly, kind of cover it with my arm, look around, nobody's looking, get my big purse in my lap because I carry a big satchel,
Uh-huh.
and then I just scoot the napkin down into my purse, look around, and my son goes, "Mother, every time you turn around and keep looking around,
You're making
you look
yourself
so guilty."
more conspicuous.
So I had the napkin with the bones in the purse, left the casino. I stole a linen napkin.
How many?
One, just one.
More closer to a half a dozen.
No, she brought a bunch, but I only needed one to wrap it up in. Bo was happy and all that, but I feel guilty today because I stole a cloth napkin.
I don't know what the cost of one napkin would be. I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
But let's assume for the moment that whatever you happen to lose when you go back to this casino next time playing blackjack
Oh, yeah.
will more than cover the cost. Let's put it this way. That's liable to end up being about a $200 to $300 napkin.
Well, I really just want to bring it back, run through the valet, toss it out the window. Go,
Give it
I
to
found
my,
this. Yeah.
Give it to my brother.
Let's take care of that.
29 past 8 o'clock. You think that's bad? Wait till you hear what happened to me.
Oh, boy.
29 past 8, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Local news next. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye on some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue near Piermont Road. And we have some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
2 companies are suing the Shreveport Aquarium, claiming they have yet to be paid for their work on the project. Weiland Davco and Rimmer Electric have both filed separate suits against Planet Aqua. Several companies placed liens against the aquarium last year after failing to be paid. The suits say the aquarium owes more than $250,000 in unpaid construction bills. Several agencies investigating the discovery of a skull in DeSoto Parish. The remains were found in a pasture on Highway 512 east in Benson. Members of the DeSoto Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and Coroner's Office are searching for any additional human bones. The LSU Faces Lab is working with the team to determine the identity of the deceased. Shreveport police need your help tracking down an alleged bank robber. A.C. Elliott Flusis Sr. is accused of robbing the bank on Free State Boulevard around 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Flusis allegedly walked into the bank demanding money from the clerk and fled the scene on foot. You can see photos of him at KEELnews.com. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is urged to call Caddo Crime Stoppers at 673-7373. More charges filed against a Bossier teacher. Matt Parker has that.
3 more child sex charges have been filed against Aubrey Norcross, a teacher at Benton Elementary School. Norcross is now being charged with 3 more counts of molestation of a juvenile and faces 11 separate charges. Sheriff Julian Whittington says that it's tough for these boys and girls to tell their story, but he's glad they are coming forward so their healing can begin. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A woman pleads guilty to murder. Kiana Williams pleads guilty to manslaughter for her role in killing 82-year-old Kathleen Cates. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Her accomplice in the crime, Roy Narcisse, sentenced to life in prison last week after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. The duo killed Cates after doing yard work at her home. With less than a week until the midterms, President Trump's in Florida campaigning for Republicans. The president said he will not let anyone from the caravan into our country.
But we're getting prepared for the caravan, folks. You don't have to worry about that. Getting prepared for the caravan. And they got a lot of rough people in those caravans. They are not angels. They are not.
Thousands of migrants are making their way to the U.S. Many Democrats have accused the president of fear-mongering about the caravan. For $800,000, you could get a 5-bedroom, 7-bath home in a gated community outside Detroit. Bonus, Aretha Franklin used to own it. Franklin's 4,100-square-foot brick colonial home in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, has been listed for sale. It includes a 3-car garage, a sauna, his and hers walk-in closets, and an indoor bridge that overlooks the foyer. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. So your day compared to mine was basically...
well, I committed a criminal act. At least you didn't do that.
Well, here's what happened to me. Let me start with this. Have you ever, because this is kind of what happened to me yesterday, and I'm sure it's happened to everybody, where in the course of your day, you see someone you know, a man or a woman, and now that we live in this early 21st century culture where you don't shake hands anymore, but you give people hugs, or you do the man bear hug where the two fists on the back and whatever. Yeah. Has it ever happened to you where the woman or man that you hugged had on too much perfume or cologne?
Oh, yeah.
And it gets on your clothes, and so like you go through the day and you turn your head the wrong way, and that scent of someone else is with you all day long. Well, without getting into too much detail, I ended up hugging someone yesterday I hadn't seen in a while, and it was basically you know that nani perfume that's sort of somewhere between formaldehyde and powder.
The female version of Old Spice, whatever it is.
And where I was in the car and I knew what it was, but I couldn't figure out where the spot on the clothes was.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn your head the wrong way, and it just engulfs your entire being. So my brother Bill and I, we get over to Maryland's. We went to lunch at Maryland's yesterday, and we walk in, and a young lady named Elise is working at the cash register. She goes to take our order. Well, I've known Elise a long time, and sort of a very casual, conversational
Chit-chat,
relationship.
yeah.
And she notices I'm kind of like turning my head, trying to figure out where the smell is, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Has it ever happened to you where you hug somebody, blah, blah, blah?" And she goes, "Yeah, it happens all the time." And I said, "Well," and at that point, I turn my head and I find the spot on the lapel of my jacket. And it's like, whoa, it makes me wince. It's so
strong,
powdery, formaldehyde, stinky. And she says, "You okay?" And I said, "Yeah, but it's just like awful." At which point my brother Bill pipes up, and I quote, "He's just hiding the truth. He doesn't want you to know he's sleeping with an 80-year-old woman."
Ooh, whoa, go Bill.
At which point Elise responds, "Well, at least now we know he dates younger women."
Oh, man.
Zinger.
Yow.
839, 1017 FM. Yee.
Woo-wee.
Oh, I got cramps. 839 traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye on some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue near Piermont Road. And we have some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Go Tiger.
1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
I'm getting excited.
KEEL app's a free download from Office Furniture Source. So you early voted, and it seems to me that most everybody I know has voted early. And at some point I'm thinking, why do we even have election day anymore? Why don't we just have election week, have it all in 1 week? Look, the way it exists now, election early voting ended, what was it, yesterday or the day before?
Tuesday was the last
day.
day,
So
yeah.
you've got 1 week between the end of early voting and election day. Well, what if something comes up? What if something earth-shaking? What if something important happens?
What if someone drops out? Say the person I voted for mayor drops out of the race.
Or endorses. The point I'm making is you've got a lot of time there that something can change. If, in fact, we have decided that election day isn't really important or isn't really the way we want to go anymore, why don't we just do election week and go from Sunday to Saturday, from Monday, whatever it happens to be, that you've got 7 days to cast your vote, because right now there's no real purpose to election day, because not only Louisiana, states across the country have early voting, which was originally intended for people who couldn't make it on Election Day and, people who were infirm or elderly or had trouble making it, had an excuse traveling for business or whatever the reason happened to be.
Right.
But there's just no reason to have Election Day anymore. We should have What do you think? Because you early vote. Why did you early vote?
Well, because Tuesday I know we're going to be doing election coverage. It's going to be a long day for me, and I didn't want to have anything extra in the day to go do. Like, I want to go. I want to take my nap, get rested, get ready to come back.
So
in
the
the
point
evening.
being, it was a measure of convenience. Not that I'm saying that's not the case, but why do it 8 or 10 days, or in your case, 10 days, 12 days before the election?
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff can happen in those last 12 days.
Oh, absolutely.
Here was my question, because I will go to Trinity Lutheran Church to cast my ballot on Tuesday, November 6th. And I'm going to go in there, and I've already got my little test ballot, my sample ballot, and I live the district. There are two measures on the ballot, two elections on the ballot that have to do with specific areas of town, and one of them has to do with city council, and one of them has to do with school board. And I know when I go in there, because of the district in which I live, I know it's going to have my specific ones in there. It's going to have my city council election and my, for that neighborhood, school board election or for that district.
Right.
When you go downtown, when you go to early vote downtown at Ernie's place, sounds like a restaurant. When you go to how do they do that?
What do you mean? Well, they have it in the system. You're in the system. You show your ID. They pull you up, and then they set the machine up based on your district where you live. So you go to the machine, and only the races that you have.
Walk me through this again, because I'm going somewhere with this.
They're not the same voting booth thing you would imagine.
No, I asked Ernie about that when he was here. No.
It's like a little table thing. It looks like it sits on a table.
So you walk into.
Mm-hmm. And it's right there on Marshall at Milam.
And you walk in, and there's a clerk, or Ernie's there maybe, or his helpers,
there's
like
clerks,
like Santa.
You go through the metal detector.
And you say, I'm here to vote.
They say, stop here. You stop at this table. Give them your ID.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Stop here. Give them your ID.
What was that you go? What is that? Give them your
ID.
So what happens in so many states where no ID to vote is required? What happens across the country, and the Democrat Party is adamant, if you require a voter ID, you are racist, you are suppressing the vote of minorities and other oppressed peoples. You are keeping them down by requiring an identification. That is basically one of the basic tenets, just like open borders, just like government should run everything. That is one of the basic tenets of the 2018 Democrat Party, is there should be that if you are for voter ID, you are a racist, you are a bigot, and you are a hater, much like the President of the United States. So imagine, if you will, all the early voting, and it takes place now in just about every state.
Yes.
So imagine all the early voting that takes place, and there's no... How would they do that? They ask you. They take your word on where you live.
Yes.
They take your word for your residence. They take your word on your district.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see a potential problem here?
Of course there is. And, I was curious when I left early voting. I thought, I wonder what will happen if Tuesday I show up to vote. Will they say I already voted? Will the book show I've already voted?
Well,
Can I vote twice?
Let's look at it from a more sinister point of view. Let's say someone has stolen your identity, and someone other than you has voted early, walking in and saying, I'm Erin McCarty, and they know your address, although nobody's going to ask because they don't have to prove they are you. And they can vote for whoever they want, and as many people without voter IDs can come in without... Do you see the potential problem here?
Yeah, I do see
and
a little bit of a
And that you have
problem.
a political party in this country right now that embraces the tenet that if you want somebody to prove who they are on Election Day, that you're a racist.
I just know I saw everybody that came through, black and white, show an ID.
It's Louisiana. We require it.
Mm-hmm.
Go try that in some of the other states that don't. Aren't you just a little worried about the future of this country when you have a political party, the Democrats, that think that no voter ID is a good idea?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
That makes you a bigot.
Uh-oh.
848, 1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic and weather, and Your Money Now brought to us by Barksdale Federal Credit Union, just ahead. .117 FM, 710 Keel. Your Money Now just ahead right now. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound. Starting at Spring and Market, it's backed up past Benton Road right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine, chance for afternoon showers Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The KEEL app is brought to you by Office Furniture Source. Download the app today. KEEL.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
CNN's Don Lemon said we have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest threat in America today are white men.
Yeah, many people may call those comments racist, but aren't we tired of being offended at every little thing? I think it all boils down to the plain wisdom of Forrest Gump's mama when she said, "Stupid is as stupid does," and he certainly did.
And to add to their stupid actions, CNN and Don Lemon have both said they're not going to talk about his demonizing white people on the air, and they're just going to hope the whole thing goes away.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. No, why? What's your question?
Well, I'm just curious because the LSU-Alabama game is a whiteout for LSU fans in honor of Devin White having to sit out.
Yeah.
So fans are
like
urged
100,000 people are going to wear white shirts?
It's going to be white, yeah. The stands are going to be white.
You know,
I'm wondering if the Tigers, though, are going to wear those new all-white unis with that crazy purple helmet.
I didn't like those.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan.
So Coach Orgeron backs up the guys on ESPN. A guy on ESPN last night said the key to LSU defeating Alabama, he said, starts with the toss of the coin. That got my attention. He said LSU to have a chance. He said LSU's got to win the opening toss. He said usually a team wins the toss. He said they defer and want the ball or a choice to begin the second half.
Mm-hmm.
He said it is all important for LSU to win the toss and take the ball because that's one less possession for the Alabama offense.
So you think Alabama wins the toss, they'll defer? Is this all – I think this is all political.
Given the fact that Alabama scores on, I was going to say first possession almost every time. No, I think Alabama takes the ball. See,
Alabama won't defer?
The key to LSU having a chance is to have a chance. And what I mean by that is they've got to slow the game down.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to run the ball.
You bet.
And eat up clock against Alabama. The farther into the game it goes, that LSU is still within a field goal or a touchdown or even within 2 touchdowns.
The better the chances. You're right.
Because Alabama hasn't been in a game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just imagine, look, you tell me, what do you think? See, LSU's had some close games. They've won some close games. They've lost some close games. Their players have gained invaluable experience from being in those situations. But is there an Alabama player, when you've got the top college football player in the country, Tua Tagovailoa, who hasn't seen a down of football in a fourth quarter all season? What happens in the heads of those Alabama players who are used to winning 55-20 or 55-6 or whatever it happens to be? What goes through the mind of those Alabama players if they're not 30 points ahead at halftime? Or 40 points. What if it gets to start the fourth quarter and they're only 3 or 7 points ahead?
And that crowd is screaming.
And will they begin to question their own invulnerability?
Yep.
Is that, Coach O said, we win the toss. We're taking the ball.
This is going to be Tua's first interception of the year this weekend.
That's your prediction?
I promise you.
Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Lots of LSU stuff. Promise. 8:57. Here's Kim Commando.
I have the inside scoop on what's better to buy on Black Friday or wait until Cyber Monday. Kim Commando with your Thursday Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by iDrive. Back up and protect all of your PCs and devices into one account. Visit iDrive.com, promo code Kim. While it's still weeks away, the big retailers have started releasing their Black Friday and Cyber Monday ads. At Costco, decent Chromebooks will be $200 and Xboxes $70 off. But if you are in the market for an Xbox, check Sam's Club. They have a bundle deal. Amazon will have their Echoes and Fires on sale, but Amazon's annual toy sale is happening now. Every retailer will have 4K TVs on sale, discounted around 25%. So what should you buy on what day? Adobe's out with their annual predictions. Black Friday is a day for tablets, TVs, and computers. The Sunday before Cyber Monday is the day to buy clothing. Buy your toys on Cyber Monday. I'm Kim Commando. When you're hiring, you don't want to waste time sorting through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. You need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Good news, you're not stuck with your healthcare plan. Really, you have an option, and it's so good. Hundreds of thousands of people are already doing it. It's growing very fast. It's called MediShare. It's a healthcare sharing ministry, which means you can save a ton. The typical family saves $500 a month, and it's truly about sharing. You're helping others while you're doing what's best for your family. This has been a huge blessing for so many. Find out more. Call 855-25-SHARE. That's 855-25-SHARE.
Keeping an eye right now on some heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound. Starting at Spring and Market, it's backed up past Fitton Road right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Cloudy, breezy, and quite a bit cooler for us today. Highs only in the upper 50s. Clouds will begin to decrease later on this afternoon and into tonight, all the way down into the low 40s. Milder Friday, sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s. For the weekend, nice day Saturday with sunshine.